And that breaking news, at least 5 tornadoes confirmed across Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. 3 people are dead, thousands of homes and businesses destroyed. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Mike Dardis. The hardest hit areas were Lakeview, Ohio, that's up in Logan County, and Milton, Kentucky in Trumbull County. And that's where we find my co-anchor right now up in that area of Ohio, Cherie Palello, kicking off our team coverage tonight. And Cherie, you have been out there speaking with neighbors. You've been looking at the damage. Let's talk more about some of those victims.
Well, hi there. Good evening to you, Mike. Yes, we're in Lakeview. This is part of Logan County, and this is one of the hardest areas hit. As you said, 3 people died. We're trying to find out more information. So far, not a lot's being released. We do know, again, 3 people died. One of them was an older woman who lived right across the street from where I am now. And this really gives you an idea of what people were facing. This was part of a home, an attached barn here and garage. There were several homes right here on this corner, along with some boats. There were some boats kind of across the way here. They're now in the background here. You can see behind me here, toppled on top of homes. And inside, even though this is sort of a lake community, some people come up here during the summer with their families from the greater Cincinnati area. Many people live here. About 1,200 people live in this community, and they had to weather this storm last night, not knowing what they were going to walk out to. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about these storms. We're learning a lot more from the National Weather Service tonight. The National Weather Service has confirmed that at least 4 tornadoes hit in Ohio, including an EF3 that ripped through the county I'm in Logan County, multiple EF1s in the Miami Valley area and north of Columbus. An EF1 tornado was also confirmed in Switzerland County out in Indiana. The strongest, though, again here in Logan County, killed at least 3 people and injured dozens more. I spoke with some of the victims' neighbors who can't believe what happened last night.
They left like 2 hours before it happened and was at my aunt's house down in the basement.
Well, when you see what's left of their house, what are you thinking today?
It's gone. I mean, you gotta start fresh now.
I understand some of their neighbors weren't as lucky.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah. The person that was right beside us, I guess he was still in there, and then he ended up staying there, and the tornado took him, flipped his trailer over upside down, and he had to get help out of the back of his trailer, and I guess he's in the hospital right now.
So he made it.
Yeah.
But some other neighbors did not.
The one on the corner, she passed away.
Yeah, some elderlies that passed away.
Yeah.
And it really is heartbreaking. As you talked, we've been talking with many people who knew that victim who died, and several people telling me they could hear the screams, but there was just no way to get to her. A tree had landed on her home. These 3 men we actually met. This is Will Leopold, who you just heard from, as well as his 2 buddies, Nathan Knox and Damon Shaw. They live in the Columbus area but have family, as you just heard, who lives here. And they said, we just wanted to go around and do anything we could. They saw this flag draped over a tree that had been cut in 2, and so they folded it. They kind of nailed it to a piece of board and then hung it nearby here. And they said, we just want to do anything we can. This is what this community is all about. We will rebuild. You know, many families out here not only lost their lives, but they lost a lifetime of memories too. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson is not too far from where I am here in Lakeview. She's spent the day talking with people in this community as well. Good evening to you, Karen.
Yeah, good evening, Cherie. And I have to tell you, every block I walk, every house I visit, every family I talk to, my heart just sinks and breaks more and more. I want to tell you a story about this house right here. You know, you take a look from the front, it looks like a dollhouse. That young man right there, he was actually inside the house when the tornado hit. He said he ran to the bathroom and took cover. But upstairs, that is his children's bedroom. He has a 1-year-old.
Lakeview shattered, houses flattened, boats tossed around like toys, roofs ripped off businesses, and hearts filled with grief.
Yeah, people died. We're all right. We have insurance.
And they still have a house that's standing.
And 5 houses down. It's nothing. Like what you see there, just piles of rubble.
Tanya Gauze and her family trying to salvage what they can. She, her husband, son, and 2 dogs huddled in the center of their home last night.
Next thing you know, glass was breaking and we just heard things whipping around and it was just awful. I was just praying that we would be all right.
Portions of their house collapsed around them and a tree sliced through the backside.
Like I say, every window broke. Like it sounded like at the same time. We just heard glass everywhere. It all busted inward.
Like most in this community, they walked away uninjured, but in disbelief.
I just have so much going on in my head right now.
This is not how Gabrielle Taylor expected to welcome her first child into the world. At 26 weeks into her pregnancy, she is thankful she wasn't home last night. But it hurts losing the house she hoped to raise a family in.
We're trying to get some stuff that's salvageable from inside, but it's hit or miss.
In the aftermath of the storm, locals have been welcoming outsiders in, many offering a helping hand or hot meal. Through the heartbreak and destruction, many families are grateful they still have each other.
And that was Karen Johnson reporting. And I tell you, that's the same story that you hear from so many of the people who you talk to here. It's a little surreal when you walk through this community. Every neighborhood has so much damage. It really looks like a war zone. And I think this tree really signifies the power of the twister that ripped through here, literally ripping and cutting this giant tree in half here. Now, the damage from these storms is widespread. WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick spent the day in Midway, Ohio for us. Take a look at this map here. It really shows where this is all located north of Cincinnati. You can see it's about an hour east of Dayton, about 30 minutes southwest of Columbus. And Brian Hamrick is live there for us tonight. Brian, show us some of the damage you're seeing there.
Yeah, nowhere can you see the violent nature of this storm like you can here in Midway and in this particular mobile home park. You can see there's debris everywhere. Some homes are completely gone. And right here, side by side, are 2 that were pushed completely onto their sides. The winds were so strong that they just picked them up, turned them over. And in this home right here, a man was trapped inside. Some of the neighbors were coming out looking for survivors. They heard something coming out of here. They could hear a voice. They heard a man saying, "I need help."
We all got out okay, and we come walking looking for people, and this guy was trapped hollering, and we hollered for help. So I started tearing into the side of the trailer. The hole where the pipe is, I'm the one that ripped that out to reach in there, and all I could do was touch his hand through the vent, and then they cut the other side and ended up getting him out. He was under the water heater and bathroom.
Now this is the area where that man scratched through with his bare hands to hold the hand of the man inside here. It wasn't until firefighters got here with chainsaws and were able to cut this hole out, and the man was able to come out. Now, he had some scrapes and bruises, but they say he's going to be okay, but it'll be a long time before things get back to normal here in Midway. Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
Brian, thanks so much. I'm showing you a live picture here. This is really what we're seeing in this Logan County area here. These are volunteers. One guy has a chainsaw, the other has a bucket filled with food, and then they have water. They're just handing them out to neighbors here in Lakeview to try and do anything they can to try and help. So 3 people died in this area. The encouraging news tonight is it appears that everyone else has been accounted for. So now it's just a matter of starting to sift through the rubble to rebuild. Cherie Palillo live from Lakeview. I'll have much more coming up. Mike, back to you.